feel good. Just trying not to think about like the magnitude of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Just trying to just get my head down and just fucking start it.
I started doing running events. I think my first one was half marathon in June 2023. And ever since then it's just been like a chase of just what's next, what's the next biggest thing. So doing then like a marathon in August, then I done my first ultra, which was 34.5 miles in November. And then going into the following year, 2024, this year, I was like, right, I need to step the game up. And I just saw London to Brighton, and I thought it was like, it's a big, big event. I just thought it was just a good step up, to be honest. This is the next level. The race date was May 26th. Started training like mid-January time, so I had 4 months I was training for it. I wasn't following like a really specific plan. I was like, I need to just get used to the big mileage feeling normal. So I was like, I need to make 20 miles feel comfortable. I need to just do half marathons like multiple times a month, like they're just normal to build up the conditioning, because I knew that that's just what was needed. I was building up physical conditioning, but I was also doing things that were a bit unconventional. Beginning of April, I ran a marathon round my athletics track, just 400 meters, just doing so many loops until I get to 26.2 miles. I just woke up one morning and was just like, I'm gonna go down, run a few miles on a track, challenge myself, and it turned into a marathon. And being able to digest the repetition of the run itself. So I thought that would be very good practice in pushing myself into something that is very uncommon. I was very regimented. I had all my stuff all prepared. So I was up early. I was up at 4 in the morning, left mine about 5:30. We was all running on a tight schedule, tight clock. Started the race at 7:30. And yeah, I think because of my training, and I know I put the miles in, when it came to the day, I just felt like, yeah, I've just done it. Now it's time to just do what I've been doing.
See you very soon.
You're going straight through. Keep going, bro. 14 miles in. Well done. Yeah, lovely.
The start of it was fine. First 15 miles or so was easy. I didn't even feel it because I was just in the day. The adrenaline was pumping. I was like, I've been building this moment for like 4 months.
Good start, bro.
Good start?
Yeah, I feel blessed.
Amazing.
15 and a half. Smooth, man.
I know I was going to be out there for a whole day, whereas with a half and a marathon, you know, it's only a matter of just under 2 hours to up to 4 hours on like an average time. But whereas with this one, it took me nearly 15 hours, so I knew it was going to be a whole day thing. So what goes into that is the whole fueling strategy. You have to make sure your calories and your fuel are always being tended to the whole day, otherwise you will just burn out. I've ran a marathon with just only taking 1 gel, for example. You can't get away with that. There's no room for those kind of errors in a 100 kilometer, you know? So that's why I needed to have a team. So I had my brother, and I had a good friend of mine who's also my videographer, Christy, who was with my brother and met me multiple times along the way.
Oh, go on then. Kiss the jelly, baby. Lovely, thank you.
And had my bags full of stuff with my food, all my fuel.
Fizzy sweets, mate. Sugars.
Banging.
Any like first aid stuff, so I had to re-tape up my toes to protect my feet and stuff, things like that. The conditions were perfect, to be fair. It was hot, but not too hot, because most of it was trail and I was in like forestry and I was just running through mud. If it was raining even a little bit throughout the day, that would have just made those elements of the run just way harder. I think because the age ranges are so vast, you've got people who are 19, 20, all the way up until some people running it in their 50s. Everyone bands together regardless of how we're built, age, background, you know, it doesn't really matter. I think when you're doing something, you all have that thing in common. You are trying to accomplish something that not a lot of people would dare to even attempt. Like 100 kilometers is a very long distance, you know, like ultra marathon. They're not something that are for the faint-hearted.
Made the trails. At some point it was just like single file bus. You were like, real. So I'm at 36.5 miles, 7 hours 15. So I've got 20 a marathon left.
So I had 3 main checkpoints across the 100 kilometers. They were about 15 miles in, I think it was 36, and then it was about 50 miles. They were the 3 main ones along the way. And then there was little rest stops in between, but they were just more independent ones just for us. They wasn't spectator friendly, so. But yeah, they were my main ones where I would need to be like, okay, I need to fuel up for the next big chunk of distance, whether that's just fueling up for food or mentally just getting back into that zone, making sure my toes are good, making sure my muscles are massaged and ready to go again. Most of it was fine. I was mentally very enthusiastic throughout the whole thing. I wasn't sort of having the mentality of like, oh, I want to go home now, this is just shit, or never ever wanted to like stop. Never wanted to stop. But the last 10K, I think when I saw the signpost on the side saying 90 kilometers, I knew I was so close to the finish. So my brain started going into the mode of, you're so tired and you've done so much already and it's literally like within arm's reach. But 10 kilometers on road is one thing, but 10 kilometers on trail is a whole different situation. So I was so close yet so far. And the route actually got a little bit tougher in the last bit. I hit a massive hill. You're talking, you know, at this point I've been up for about 12 hours. I woke up at 4 in the morning. It's now like nearly like 9 o'clock at night. I'm absolutely shattered.
What's going through your head in these moments?
I mean, this is what I was referring to. I think at the top of this hill, there was I think it was a 91 or 92 kilometer sign. So when I was running up this hill, I think I was in the most amount of pain at this point, for sure. I was in the most amount of pain, but when I got over that hill, that was a sign to myself of where I'm at with my head, with these difficult challenges. I knew that what I had done, at that point I was like, this is where you really, really get truly tested mentally. That last stretch when you feel like you have nothing left. You know, my left knee was on fire. That was a little injury that I picked up along the way. My toes were just, you know, I could feel the blisters just rubbing every single step, and getting it done for the last 10 kilometers while you're so exhausted. And when it started getting dark, my brain was going shut off mode. Like, yeah, it's bedtime now. To then realize that I'm still got a job to do. I finished, I think it was like 10:30, 11:15 when I finished.
Oh my God. Fuck. Oh my days.
When I finished the finishing line, it was, of course, the biggest sense of achievement I've ever felt in my life, for sure. It was surreal. I think that's how I can sum up. It was surreal that I even, for a second I was like, did I just do that? And then when it set in, I was like, yeah, of course I just did that. I've trained for this. And then like, you become more sure of yourself. I think what it is with training and things like that, you need to just stack wins up that just says to people like, you are who you say you are. So there's no chance of you having any self-doubt. But when I done my last event, my last biggest event, which was the 34.5 miles, what's the next step up? That was the 100 kilometer, 62 miles. So I was like, more inspirational, more inspirational. And I think that's why I raised money as well for Macmillan Cancer Support, you know, so like that charity like means a lot to me, and it means a lot to a lot of people. I wanted to raise money for that on top of doing the occasion itself, to just really encompass that, yes, I'm doing this to challenge myself, but I'm also doing this to show people that we can really be out here making a difference to people's perspectives. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not going to stop this. This was just a step up, and there's going to be another step up, and there's always going to be a step up, because you can never be too inspirational. There's no such thing as too inspirational. There's always more you can do. You can never change too many people's lives. There's always more people that you can change. There's always more that you can do, and that's going to be my journey from now on. And I think this has created great momentum for that in the past year.